Well, hello there, everyone. Thank you for dropping in. Just a moment. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully pretty good. So we have, a few times now, people have asked for some ferns for the jungle, so I made some yesterday. So part of what we're doing today is going to be adding those. I'm just finishing setting them up now. I am. Yeah, I wanted to get some of this set up before the stream, but unfortunately it took a little longer than intended. And you're here pretty quickly. Make sure it didn't resize these when I imported them. And it did. I knew it would. Yeah, look at that. It's tiny. I'll also need to change that wind because it's a little weird. Oh yes. More ferns. We had to. Probably gonna look weird. Let me see. A little odd. I'm gonna tone that down. The floodplains, I'm still working on making that look nicer. I got so hyper-focused on the dam here that it took me a little while to do that. I have this habit of wanting to do a lot of things, and then I see one thing and hyper-focus on it until it's the way I want it to be. These should be good to go. Just need to set up foliage interactions so it actually responds to input from the player. We're just going to pick a couple of them. Let's see. We'll do A, J, and K, just because. Yes, I made these yesterday so that we could have some good jungle ferns. Why, thank you. Well, so what I'm doing right now, usually you wouldn't use collision on a plant like this, but we have interactions with harvesting, things like that. And for it to work, it needs to have a collision. However, the collision won't actually stop you when you run into it. Just to detect if the player walks over it. So I'm just making sure to get that set up so that when you find these, you can harvest them. I also came up with, it's a really subtle thing, but so far everyone that's seen it has liked it. So there's something called subsurface scattering, which is when light passes through something thin like leaves, and you'll see the light through the other side. So what I did, normally subsurface scattering is a pretty even amount of light coming through, but it's always looked a little weird to me. So I came up with a way to have it more in some spots and less in others, kind of like a real leaf would be, where some spots of the leaf are thicker, or the veins of the leaf would change the way the light goes through it. But we're also going to implement that because it looks quite nice. So I'm actually going to delete these other ones because we only need the ferns that we're actually going to use. And you know, we don't really need 11 different variants of it. So we're going to cut these down. We don't really need 8K ferns either. I mean, if you ask me if there's any plant that should be 8K, it's probably ferns, but I feel that when people play, they won't really feel the same when their video memory is full just walking through the jungle. But hey, I could be wrong. I didn't, but I was actually going to show it on the stream. I actually just pulled the update right before the stream. When you showed me yesterday, I was already in the map, and I can't pull an update while I'm already in. So I waited till today, and I'm going to show off your work on the stream. Yes, Islander did make a temple. He's actually very good at creating structures, so you'll see. I think we'll go there real quick since we were going to run to the jungle anyways, so see if I can find it. Because I don't know exactly where you put it. I just know it's in the desert. I'm just going to load a big area and hope it's in there. Yes, Islander has actually helped a lot with structures on the map. It's, you know, we're all good at different things, and in my opinion, he's better than I am at making structures for buildings, things like that. So, I will happily let him do that. Let him, as if he's not leading the game. This map is my baby, though. It's just as much mine as it is his. They are a particular species, and there are tree ferns. Although I need to make sure I actually place them. But I do have them. They're lady ferns. Sorry, my voice is freaking out today. They're lady ferns, and I do plan to make more varieties. I actually did make more, but they aren't finished yet, so I have not added them yet. We do share custody. That's fine with me because you seem to have an easier time coming up with layouts for structures and such than I do. So I'm perfectly good with this. Oh, I completely missed the other question. They will be scattered throughout the jungle portion of the island, but I think that's the only area they really fit that well. I don't know if lady ferns actually normally grow in the jungle, but to me, when I made it, I was like, this looks like a jungle plant. Oh yes, I forgot you made the cave. We're about to go take a gander. Let's go see it. I guess we'll see the cave first, because it's smaller. You said at the back of the mountain. So now I'm going to find it. And a random gazebo thing. Gazebos are... Oh! I believe this is the cave. I like this. Probably need to flatten out the ground here a little bit, but maybe. I don't know. It might be good how it is. I really like it though. How the light comes through. See, he doesn't realize that he could be an environment designer. He just says no. But I'm gonna train him. And before you know it, he'll be one of the greats. Now, for the temple. We go and find it. Ah, there it is. So let's slow down the camera. I didn't see the random gazebo thing. I'll search for it. So this is the temple he made. I'm sure I'm going to have to optimize these. Let me take a look. I don't know, I might have already done these. Looks like I have. Oh, good. These are already done. Ah, I didn't know that. In that case, I might change the biome where they go. Maybe I'll temporarily put them in the jungle and find out what actually grows in jungles and then see if I can get some textures for it. Just taking a quick look over for any... I mean, there are definitely too many lights, so I'll cut down on that. But he's not here for performance, he's here to make cool things, and I come back and make them run better. I think we'll do some world-aligned textures so we can fix that. I really like this though. Layout's really nice. Looks really good. Yeah, I was just looking at the layout more than anything. I like it. You are definitely more of a natural at structures than I am. Like, I can do architecture, but it takes me a lot longer than it does for you. I think we all just have certain things we're best at. Yeah, I really like it. Hello there. Oh, I see. Some of these are my... So what we can do... I'll do this later on because it probably wouldn't be that entertaining to watch, but... To make this run better, light sources are a big source of performance hits. So what we could do is cut down on the amount of light sources by finding kind of central locations between them and having light cast from there in a way that makes it look like it's still coming from where you actually see torches. Or in here, I'm guessing just some sort of ambient light would do the job. We could fix this right now, though. So what you're seeing is called Z-fighting. That's when two objects are at the exact same location in terms of Z-axis. And that will cause that. I think I actually already have a material function for this. Yes, right there. We can take this, and by making something world aligned, it makes it slightly more expensive performance-wise. Not really enough to be concerned about unless you're using it everywhere. Oh, I see. So I'll probably have to come back and use a different texture for this. We'll see. We'll see. Because that will cause problems. Yeah, I'll come back and look at this later. Probably change the texture that it's using. Then we can prevent that problem. But I really like the layout and it looks good. Just look at that. Picturesque right there. Now where's this gazebo? I want to see it. Gazebos are great. Now that's something I put out there the other day just to kind of mark a location. But where? Ah, I get it. You have to kind of get in the right flow to make... Oh wait, is that it? Over? No, that's a rock. We will find it. I don't know, I think he's telling lies. Yeah, I think we'll make it look a lot better from here too. This is just kind of the beginning concept for the area. From the temple. I would think it'd be about here. I wonder if it didn't commit. Oh, there's a tree inside that rock. Let's fix that. Well, that would be over here, wouldn't it? I don't know. I think he's lying. Oh, there it is. I couldn't see it. It blended in with the with the terrain. It kind of makes me think of something from Metro. I don't know why, but I like it. And now, I'm kind of wondering if those ferns would fit better in this location then. Let's take a look. Plant Father. In the name of the Plant Father. Oh yes, ferns. I made some new ferns yesterday. So I was going to put them in the jungle, but I do actually try to put the plants in places that are realistic, because I make so many that if I need to, I can just make the right ones. So these are going to go probably in this kind of temperate region. I don't know. I'm going to see if it looks right over here. I mean, it would fit. Need that to load. So they could go here, or they could go in the jungle. But I do already have some ferns here. I feel like these kind of fit this biome. They're sword ferns. This is going to be kind of a redwood, like a coast redwood forest outside the giant sequoia redwood forest over there. So there's going to be like a couple types of coniferous trees like coast redwoods and firs, that kind of thing. Yeah, and we'll definitely have more places that have clearings, things like that. I'm glad somebody knew what those trees were. I've never actually seen them in real life, but I always thought it'd be cool to make some. I know, right? The massive amount of ferns is what makes this biome. But yes, Islander is actually really good at structures, things like that. It's like his thing. I'll have to drag him along to make more, because I always like them. I mainly just go back and optimize them a bit after he puts them down, but oftentimes I don't change how they look because they look good. So let's see how the ferns look in this environment. They're definitely smaller than the others. I think it did scale them down when I brought it in. So let's see. Because I think that's about the size I had it. It is a little different doing it consistently, that's true. But still, it seems like structures come a little easier to you than they do to me. I can make them, it just seems to take me a lot longer to come up with something interesting for a structure than it does for you. Just gonna set these at a bigger scale real quick. And I fully agree. I'm growing every species of redwood in my backyard right now because I love them so much. Yes. Bluebell woods. I might actually have to look that up. I'm not sure I know what it is. Like, I love nature and trees, obviously, but I still have a lot to learn. I think, just since I already have a bunch of ferns here that fit pretty well, I'll probably go ahead and still put these in the jungle for now. But I think I'm going to look up more jungle appropriate ferns. Do like this area. Well, everybody's good at something different. Can't be good at everything. I would say you're better than I am with structures, and nature stuff is my thing. You know what? If you want to marry a fern, don't let your dreams be dreams. I say do it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna look up more ferns that fit in a jungle, since I discovered these are mainly in different locations from Mr. or Mrs. Evolution Hexagon. So I'm going to look up what actually belongs here, but I'll just temporarily put them here. So let's add... Actually, I'm going to paint these manually instead of... No, we'll go ahead and add them to a procedural, but I'll paint them manually in the meantime. I need to see which ones I'm using here. Debris. I guess I could have that go with the debris. Perhaps. Yeah, I can do that. So let's make a copy of this. Now I'll name it Lady Ferns, so I know which one it is when I come back to replace it. We're going to make 3 of these. Dino egg oatmeal. That's fantastic. And now we can put my ferns in here. Healing. Let's do... That's fine for a couple of them, but I think this one was a little bit smaller. I'm gonna make them slightly offset from each other. And then I can add them here. Hotkey not working. Gotta love it. Okay, so they're not going to pop up immediately because I want these to be interactable, so I didn't put them with my procedural that automatically pops up smaller things like grass, things like that. And we're not going to regenerate that, so let's just paint them. There they are. Just let's make sure it's not going to be too dense. Add some spots that it can't be painted. I'm going to tone this down a little bit. Hold distance, we're going to leave that relatively high. Well, let's see, 10 degrees. Yeah, I like it a lot more now. I replaced it on the last stream. I think you were here when I replaced it. And this one definitely does look better. I think I'll keep it. Exactly fit for a horseshoe crab to walk on. So I've been trying to make ground foliage, specifically, be a little more dense. I was gonna check, I actually did put some ferns out here a while back. I was making sure they're not already in this location. It looks like they're not. So let's see how dense this is first. Okay, there's one of them. It's just kind of hidden inside those plants. Might have to make them a little bit bigger so they stand out more. So we'll make it 1.5 to 2 on the scale. 2.5 on that one. A little bit better, but it's still kind of hidden. Let me paint it in a few more spots and let's see how it looks. I just want to make sure it's not just the same height as everything else. I try to keep things at different heights to make it a little more interesting. It does look like it keeps painting them on top of each other, which I don't want. Yeah, they just blend in so well at the moment. Let's do... We're going to bump up the scale even more. Because we can. Aha, there we go. See, when I think of ferns in the jungle, I think of huge ones, which might not be entirely realistic, but I think it looks cool. Yeah, I'd say the jungle is pretty much ready for the tip demo. There are still things I'd like to change here and there, but most of it's not a big deal. I want to add more clearings, for one. So that's something I'll be working on. Already have been, actually. So this would be the perfect moment to do what I was talking about earlier, so we can go ahead and do that real quick. You see how the light is kind of coming through in a uniform way right now? Aside from other shadows falling onto it. So we can make that look a lot nicer where it actually follows the contours. Aha! Yes, the journey is never over. So on my other monitor, I'm pulling this up. I put my material I made somewhere where I could copy it and paste it. I'll just put it here. Oh, actually my subsurface function is already here. I'll just use that. I can just update it. It gets a little difficult sometimes, but eventually Well, blueprints specifically, I've never gotten good at them. It's materials that I'm pretty good with. So this is one I made the other day to give that nice, more realistic effect of subsurface scattering, where I can use height or ambient occlusion as the thickness of the leaf. So now I can go in here and my function pops up, and I can replace this one sample that, and just like that. So now it'll give us the option, if we want to sample ambient occlusion and use it. Let's actually stick that on by default. Oh yes, in C++, yeah. It's not very fun for me. Did I forget to put the option in there? How could I? What have I done? Oh. Ah, here we are. Okay, so now it will sample. You're right, there should be a horseshoe crab or fern language. So there you can see now. It will allow light to bleed through more in some spots and less in others, to make it more closely follow the contour of the leaf, which to me looks a lot more realistic. And since it's a texture we're already using, we're not sampling any extra textures to do this, so the performance hit is pretty much non-existent. It's very small. But yeah, I think it looks a lot nicer that way. So now we can return to adding more ferns. As we should. Thank you. I made those just yesterday. And I actually put them up on Fab for other people who use nanite in their games, so that they can also be blessed by the fern. Seems like we have it at a pretty reasonable density, so let's paint a much larger area and see how it comes out. We're going full send, boys. Hello! It seems like I catch you at, I'm guessing, lunchtime, maybe? And I agree, that would be really cool. Yeah, I think we have this at a good density. I don't want them to be absolutely everywhere since we have lots of small plants already, but I want them to be common. See, that one is mine. So yeah, I think we'll paint these all over the place then, because that's about how I want it. I just didn't want it overwhelming all the other plants. As much as I love ferns, I have to be reasonable about these things. I really appreciate it. The jungle is my baby. We're just going to put these absolutely everywhere. Because we can. Welcome to Nanite. There we go. So I want them to pop up occasionally like that, just not everywhere. I'd say this is good. So we'll just add them to the rest of the jungle areas. Get a nice aerial view going. And I'm really glad everyone thinks so. When I first joined, I was terrified for people to see what I made. Look at that. Virtual textures being virtual textures. Where'd they go? There. Yeah, this is a bug, and I guess it's just an Unreal 5.4 thing, but it will... I mean, some of the dark landscape is expected because virtual textures, so I have to rebuild them when I load a new area. But sometimes you need to open a random texture to get it to stop being black. I don't know if I'm quite shrine worthy. Horseshoe crab, though. Definitely. There is indeed. We're actually really close to it, too. It's about half a kilometer or a kilometer from here. The plants sing my name as I stroll through the jungle. Sounds like a skill issue, bro. Shrine's there. But I will show you where it is. It's true, it is the great and very important journey. We can determine if you're worthy. You can go visit the shrine, and if the horseshoe crab accepts you, then you will know. Spreading our ferns everywhere. I shall. I kind of want to find like a museum near me that has a horseshoe crab just so I can go see it. I feel like it's necessary at this point. So it's along this mountain. I made it a little bit hidden because I didn't want it to be too easy to find. But it's along this mountain. It'll actually be a little bit easier if I zoom out while I look for it. Ah, there it is. You know what? You are right. The ferns must go everywhere. And I'm just doing my part. So this is the location of the horseshoe crab shrine. The man himself. Not even man. The horseshoe crab is genderless. Simply above all. So we just have a little bit more to paint over here, and then we can return to the meadows. Good. It should make them question reality. If they don't, then I have not done my job. Oh, it looks like I accidentally left an area blank right here, so we can rectify that. With ferns. Oh my god, there's lore. Excellent. Best lore. The desolation of the unbelievers. Truly the end times are upon us. Look at all those ferns doing fern stuff. Definitely a crab cult. But that's fine. There is no issue with this. Let's paint a few things in this area. Well, few things as I select 20 different trees. See how dense it is. Might be too much. Oh my god, it froze. We're about to see like a million trees pop up. That's how you know it's gonna be bad. It rarely freezes like this. Guarantee you there's about to be like 100,000 trees that pop up in this one spot. Yep, called it. Look at that. That is absolutely ridiculous. Oh my god. Look at that. It can't even properly render it. It's just freaking out. I love it. You can buy a live horseshoe crab? That's amazing. I want one. Yeah, I love making dense forests, but that might be even a little bit too much for me. Look at that. It is absolutely appalled at the amount of trees I'm paying. Do not be afeared, Unreal. This is normal. I'll keep that. And thank you. Looks like we're missing some trees right here too, so I will quickly paint some. Just a couple. They definitely shouldn't be on slopes that steep though. Let me adjust that. Especially the huge big trees. What is it set to? He's at 25. Yeah, I kind of want to do it again just to see how dense I can make it before it crashes. Because Nanite was not happy, hence all the artifacting. These all... Why is that set so high? Make these like 35-ish? Who's putting trees at 60-degree angles? Oh, one with the jungle. Now that's pretty cool. Oh my god, Green Hell. That game, I love it and I hate it at the same time. It's intense. Like, some of the situations you get put in that game are just unreasonable. Like the time you have to cook ayahuasca and run through the woods. Which is a completely normal activity, by the way. Army ants, they look horrible. Why were you grating blocks of cheese? Well, I guess that is what you do with cheese when you're preparing it for food. I don't know why I asked, but that seems like a lot of cheese to be grating, if it actually hurts. I didn't know army ants were illegal to have anywhere. Makes sense, though. You're right. Should have been more diarrhea. Now that's understandable. But yes, they actually did do a surprisingly realistic job depicting ayahuasca. So one thing I want to do, I'm not a huge fan of our landscape materials in the meadows. Like this one, for example, it looks fine, but it tiles very noticeably, which I'll take care of later, but part of that is just the design of the texture, which I'm not a huge fan of. Ah, makes sense. The things we do for our children. Mine actually might come home while I'm still streaming. They get out of school early today. We do have some flowers here, but since I'm still working on foliage distribution in the meadows, I don't think they're actually added yet. The one thing I'm gonna do, before I go searching for anything, let's see if any of the textures that come with this one look good enough to use. It's angry because I loaded such a huge portion. So I think the wetlands, I'm using that. Let's see. Yeah, I believe that's what I'm using over here. Yes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the devs did trip a time or two because it was surprisingly accurate. The nettles are currently in the redwoods. However, I do also need to add them here. What is this one? See, I'm not a huge fan of this either because it's excessively green. Which looks fine in one picture, but not so fine when it's everywhere. But let's see what we can find. Gotta build these real quick. What we can find that would fit for this area. I might keep the wetlands one over there, but definitely need to modify the tiling a little bit. But this material needs to go. Because that's just, it's not attractive. That makes sense. We don't really have a whole lot of places like this in my area. So I don't have a ton of reference to go off of other than Google. Oh yes, there are nettles. I'll definitely add them to this area. So let's see if there's anything here that looks good. Mossy grass. The thing that makes it difficult is you'll see these images here for what it'll look like, but that's not actually what it's going to look like. A lot of times you want to choose something a little on the darker side because it'll come out a little brighter than it shows in the pictures. A lot of these would come out looking pretty flat. That's why I'm trying to avoid some of them. Grass and rabbit droppings. While tempting, I don't think we will. That is pretty interesting. That could be cool, maybe? Ah, my kids just got home, so if it gets loud in a moment, you'll know why. They'll probably come to say hi. Might download this one just so I can try it out. Oh yes, that is a good idea. This wild grass one definitely interests me. With wildflowers, I'm going to add those as actual plants on the landscape because it probably wouldn't look that great as a material on the ground. But if I see a good looking one, that would definitely be a good option. Wild grass and weeds. Burnlings. Yes, I love it. Artificial turf, that's what we need. Flowers would be cool. But I'll probably just add those as plants because it won't look nearly as textured as it does in that picture. So we have to be a little bit picky about what we use. That's kind of cool. I feel like it would look bad when it's actually tiled across a big area, though. You know what? You're right. Metals would be better. Well, I guess we'll take a look at what I already downloaded. I'll probably have to search more later on for more textures because it usually takes a while to find a good one. But let's see what this looks like. So there's the wetlands. Oh, there we go. You know, something tells me that smoking nettles would be a bad idea. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. Oh yeah, swamp ground. I forgot I grabbed that. Wild grass, is that? Yes, there it is. So let's get a little preview of what it would look like. I didn't actually know you could consume them. Oh, whoops. We actually need to disable virtual textures on these. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Those little needles would probably be pretty unpleasant. But I guess they're good to someone. Might be a little bit too dark. I will survive. I'm just glad you made it. Yeah, I think this might be a little bit too dark to use here. You know what? You have a point. You know, I guess it is kind of growing on me. I do like it, at least more than the original texture, so we'll go ahead and use it. But that means I need to complete this. So let's put it in the landscape stuff. Yeah, I think the grass is what's throwing me off. Let's see about a different one. Guess we'll go back to the original, because I think I'll have to look for a little longer before I can find something good. So this is the original meadow texture. Let's see what that looks like. I could darken the grass a little bit, but it would probably... Oh, that does not look good. We are not using that. Okay, back to what we had then, for now. Yeah, I agree though. It was a nice texture, just doesn't really fit the area that well because of the grass. This one, I'm not a huge fan of it, but it does at least match the grass pretty well. So now we can go back over to, well, some of these slopes. I still need to add some rocks in some areas. But I was touching up this area yesterday, and I think we can finish that up. Make it look a little nicer. Just looking at maybe using some of the rocks from this pack. Oh, never mind. I thought those were purple. That would have been problematic. I'm thinking about using these in this area. Perhaps. Perhaps. See how it looks. If we make it big. Because it's not actually from the same pack as the others. While it is a nice looking rock, I don't think it's going to work for what I'm wanting here. The demo definitely will come this year. Yeah, we do quite a bit of bug testing and QA testing just to make sure it's good to go before we release anything. Ooh, I love being judged. Do it. Understandable. But I am glad you joined us. I think if I fill out this spot a little bit, it'll look pretty decent. Let's try it out. Mac and cheese. Excellent. Oh, whoops, accidentally grabbed the same one. Understandable. Mac and cheese is important. I don't blame you. Seeing if I can make this fit in this area, but it might be a little too concave. So if not, then let's see about repeating this one in a way where it doesn't look repeated. Because I would like to have these roots here, but these are the only ones that seem to fit. So if we just kind of hide it a little bit, it could look pretty nice. Oh yes. Must have all the rocks. So now we need to cover up this one root that makes it clear that it's tiling. We could do that with this guy right here, probably. Excellent. So it looks like that worked out pretty well. Yeah, I like having these little rock faces every now and then next to ponds. What does this look like? I think we'll use this in a couple spots. But now we need big rocks. I think that's going to really fit what I'm wanting. But I have some good mega scans for this. Yeah, I did too, but I think it'll be better in another spot. See how this looks. Have to make it a little bigger. So it's definitely too dark. Ah. We can rectify this. With subsurface scattering. Or not. I really thought that would look better. Subsurface didn't really do a whole lot for this, did it? It's a little bit too dark. It does look awesome. You are correct about this. I could set this to subsurface and that might fix it. Let's find out. That's one of the options. Yes, that's better now. Yeah, I think these will work pretty well. I agree. I'm always excited to see anything new about the dinosaurs. I guess the problem here is it doesn't fit the landscape too well, which we could change if we wanted to. But it's really just not that great. Oh yes, non-bald. I love big rocks. Gotta use them everywhere. Even better when you can use the same one a few times. For performance reasons, mainly. There's a certain one I'm looking for. I think it's one of the Nordic rocks. Yes. Here we go. I just like having nice little cliff faces here and there. Rock faces. Might actually want to make this just a little bit bigger. Oh yeah, I should put them there. I haven't put the shells in there yet. But that's a great idea. Definitely gonna do it. Every now and then I like making these manually made clips like this. They look so nice. I know it takes a little bit, but I love the result when it's done. Perhaps this. For things with moss on it, I like to use subsurface because it makes the moss look really nice. But yes, the shells are new. Here we go. Just need to hide the bottom of that a little bit. And the top, apparently. Oh yes. The horseshoe crab butt is life. If you weren't a booty man, you are now. Sounds like a superhero. Booty man. Yeah, I'm having to change the master material for these as I go for a little optimization and organization. yes, that'd be amazing. I fully approve. There we go. Nice. And we're mostly done with the rock face. Let's see, we'll put another... Exactly. We have to make places to taunt. It's pretty important if you ask me. So... make it a bit bigger, as in a lot bigger. Fills in some of the empty space. I'm not liking how the shadow is so deep in those spots. Maybe subsurface isn't the best for that one. Or it is. Now just a bit more over here and we're done with this spot. I think we'll make kind of a rock shelf right here, maybe. Let's see how it looks. My apologies, I have to keep doing this. Just have to make sure to do it as I go, because it would take a very long time to go through these manually and change them all at once. Yeah, I think this will work. I want to make kind of a few ledges. Oh yes, I love rocks. Pebble Father. I like it. I accept it. Also, if anybody hasn't seen it, I'm sure most people would love my rabbit just as much as I do, and I posted it in the pets channel. He's a cuddly boy. Rocks, rocks, we are the rocks. Oh, I agree. I like having like a group of ledges. It looks nice and it's functional. It's true. This place is like a environment artist's wonderland. You can make everything on the same map. Just Dad. I accept it. I will not fight the people. This is going to be one of the most effective packed level actors I've made in a while. When I group all of these together. In the name of the Plant Father. Ooh. I want to see it. I do love a good map. We can kind of copy these around a little bit. Just kind of slightly change their locations. Band Mother. Yep, just PC for now. Hopefully in the future we could do console, but at the moment, just for PC. I guess it kind of depends on how successful it is. As long as it's viable, I'm sure we would love to. Ooh, that would take a long time. I feel that bad for you. I guess I spend forever making some of the trees I make. It's just so satisfying to see the end product. Yeah, I really like these. And it's coming out nice with the little ledges I wanted going on here. Oh, I agree. It definitely will be worth it. Your concepts of them look awesome. That should be good in that spot. We'll just fill up this last little spot here. Then we might do a couple more little touch-ups here. And then I need to eat some lunch. It's not yet, but I was thinking about it. I spent a good portion of yesterday trying to learn more about a waterfall system we have. So as long as I can make that work for me pretty soon, I was definitely thinking about it for this spot. I think that'll do it. Now I'll just have to select them all. Have to make sure I'm not selecting ones way off in the background. A couple of them have been. Did I get them all? Oh yeah, almost forgot the roots. Yes, yeah, this is what I was doing with the goop. The goopy goop. Trying to make sure I selected this all so I don't have to come back and pack it back together again. It could happen though. I am considering a water simulation for the next stream. However, today it is almost time for me to eat. Excellent. So that just packed it into one actor, which is both good for performance and easier to manage. Everything we can to make it run a little bit better. And I actually added a little border here last night and updated some of this. A little bit nicer looking now. So I think we'll add a couple more things to this wall. So I need to break this level actor. Thank you. I appreciate it. I think we'll use a couple of these. I just wanted to make it not so uniform, I guess, from this side. I actually think I want these to be a little bit shorter than the main wall. Yeah, I think that's a good look. So I'm gonna only do one on this side actually. We can pretend that debris right there came from one of these breaking down. It was kind of hard to find the same kind of bricks. Yes, yeah, I replaced these yesterday. I was kind of hanging out here last night for a while. Make sure I have it all selected. And we'll pack this back into a level actor. Meadow Dam. The water looks the same as it did on the last stream because I've gotten completely distracted with this little pond here. But I do plan to rerun it, so I still have the simulation set up here so that it can be done again. But I wanted to make it look a bit better down in the actual floodplains area. Do not need tick. Yeah, I like the pond. I know it'll change a little bit when I rerun the simulation, but hopefully it should stay somewhat similar to how it is right now. This little ledge came out pretty good. It will be good for hanging out and taunting people. Not that I would ever. That would be rude. So yeah, we'll just paint a few more rocks around some of these hills, and then I'm going to say it's lunchtime because I'm getting pretty hungry. Let's see, I think... Okay, yeah, that is how I had it set up. I try not to put them so dense that you can't walk through, but it doesn't look right if hills are completely bare, if you ask me. So we'll go around some of these spots. I just don't want to have really bare hills around here. When I think of meadows, I think of spots like this. Oh, those are floating. I will come back and fix that. Actually, I'm going to do it now. Because knowing me, I'll get distracted later and forget those were floating. But I tried to leave paths through. Look at that, they're still floating. I'll probably just have to come back and fix all of them. Try to leave paths through when I make these little dense patches of rock so that people aren't going to get stuck on them, is my hope. Of course, in this spot, I don't think anybody's going to be walking up the side of this mountain, sky rimming it. So I make this a little bit more dense. And I guess we'll go ahead and stop here. And I'm gonna go grab some lunch. So thank you all for dropping in and watching. I'll be back on Tuesday. And I hope to see you all there. Have a good day, everyone.